Introducing the Mr. Good Media. Put in the effort. Go the distance. The lend a hand man with a plan. Your host for the evening, John Clay. Let us explore the vastness of the internet, looking for information on anything from complex situations to fun facts. Ladies and gentlemen, turn up your sound and dive with us down the rabbit hole.
Good morning. Okay, well, my chat's been giving me issues this morning. I don't know why it's not connecting. I hope y'all are doing well. If y'all are trying to chat with me, I'll do my best to interface through other sources. I'm trying to get this up and running while I'm here, but we are going to look at things as far as in regards to what we can do with COVID. I know a lot of people are having issues. Me personally, myself. I'm in healthcare, physical therapy, and right now, because I'm not nursing, I don't have as much work. A lot of patients are getting discharged or denying therapy services just because of their concerns with COVID. So that's currently where I'm at. So I wanted to look at one, kind of what resources are available to us. I wanted to look at what are our current circumstances living in kind of this Williamson County, Travis County area, what's going on with us. If you're from anywhere else and you're wanting to participate, feel free to do so. I would say that just trying to, let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to work on doing this at the same time. So, also personal protective equipment. A friend of mine who's a nurse had also posted on social media. I'm seeing a lot of these cloth masks. I don't necessarily know how effective they are or what good they would be for us or for individuals in healthcare trying to wear those around others. So I'm kind of curious what the actual input is on that. From what I've heard so far, it's the N95 mask that are what are preferred use. But again, I don't necessarily know what exactly the cloth mask would benefit. So we'll see. Again, I'm not even sure if this is working right now, which is kind of irritating. Like, I don't know why it's not. I thought we had everything up and going. So I could just be talking to myself right now, for all I know. And which, that's great, right? We'll still look. I need to spend time looking at this. Resources. So resources in, say, give me 1 second. I'm trying to get back over here so I can at least try to talk to people in the process if you have any questions or concerns. I don't know why this is going so slow right now. Very much a pain. So, get this figured out. And saying my chat application failed. I don't know. This is blowing my mind as to what's going on. Is this even picking anything up? It's picking me up right now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yay. Okay. Let's see. Gravel. The order on our website. So it's saying on the website it has the order that's for Williamson County. We can also Google shelter in place Travis County. It's not showing any of my chats here. So Sabrina should have the websites pulled up. So if anybody messages on those, or sorry, like Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, then she'd be able to relay that information to me if you have any questions. I'm just trying to figure more out about what this is. Travis, 2 counties which encompass the bulk of Austin metropolitan areas. Statesman. So let's see. So they're worried that it could reach max capacity within 3 weeks. So yeah, that'd be pretty bad. 2 companies encompassing Travis County and Williamson County. Stay closed for the remainder. So Dr. Mark Escott, Interim Health Authority for Austin and Travis County, called for schools to stay closed for the remainder of the school year. Didn't know that. Wow. And I don't know, this whole situation, like you see this where people are giving out food, but there's no mask whatsoever. And from my understanding, this is a respiratory infection, can be spread airborne, and yet people are going out and having contact and not wearing N95 mask. Supposedly, from what I heard, there were pictures of Zilker Park that were filled up yesterday, which blows my mind. Let's see, records departments. We got 4 people watching. Yeah, I just so Sabrina's going to be relaying information to me. If anybody has any input on this, I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily everything that's going on, and that's the reason I created this, is so that way we could honestly look and see what is going on within our community. Now we have these stay-at-home orders. I know Abbott doesn't want to put in place anything statewide just because, why cripple the economy? I feel like it's going to happen anyways. I mean, you have to look. I'm in a position where I'm like, hey, how am I going to pay my rent? Because you have to look. Like, I have a finite amount of resources. I don't know when I'm going to get paid again. And then on top of that, you have to look at, so am I going to have money for food, or am I going to have money for shelter? And I'm to a point now where I'm looking at, okay, well, you going to kick me out right now? I mean, I'll start coughing. I'll act like I got the COVID. Oh, yeah, I have. Thank you. Bam. Thank you, Sabrina. So people the orders dictate all residents must remain in their home unless performing essential activities such as buying groceries, pet supplies, and other items needed to work from home. People also leave their homes to exercise and walk their pets as long as they comply with social distancing rules. See, that's the other thing, is from, again, what I read from the New England Journal of Medicine. I don't know. Like, I can't say I have all the information. I'm not going to. But again, this is what the study said, is it could be airborne for up to 3 hours. Now, so if I'm walking through an area, then if somebody else walks through that area 3 hours later, that would mean they could be exposed to catching that, from what I think. And we're going to grocery stores, we're going out and about, not wearing PPE. And I know N95 masks are limited. There's not enough supply on these things. I'm I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just trying to look at, okay, well, this is what the research has said. How do we approach this in the correct understanding to go forward with this? Um, I don't think a lot of people realize, like, how connected we are as a society, right? Like, I go for me, even right now, I'm going out and about into the world seeing patients. I see a patient, right? Well, what if they have a house member that comes in? Yesterday, a supervising PT told me she went to go see a patient. She had a family member fly in recently, like within the past week, to help the patient. So if that person went through airport, sat on a plane, all of that just to be there, and then had concerns about individuals catching COVID, or the patient catching COVID from others coming in. Which you have to think the amount of people going through airports. I haven't seen what an airport looks like in a long time. I can't even imagine uh, what that all entails, but you have to look at, okay, this person's gone through an airport. Think of all the other people going through airports. Um, what they're touching, what they're leaving behind. Again, if it's airborne for 3 hours, right? Anybody that walks through that area within that 3 hour period has a possibility of catching that. Not only that, like, again, that same study said that it could live on plastic and steel for up to 3 to 4 days. So, think of it like a conveyor, right? Uh, when you're walking through an airport and they're like pushing you through, they have those things. I forget what they're called, but just a conveyor, right? So if you touch that conveyor, if somebody else had touched that, anybody else that touched that conveyor, and how many times does it loop through and is being touched in that time? That's a lot of people that could potentially be infected there, and you literally have no idea. Along with the fact that it has an incubation period of 2 weeks. uh, these things just blow my mind that it's not being more self-conscious about what we're actually doing going from place to place. I don't necessarily disagree with the shelter in place order, but I think it should be taken more seriously than we're allowed to just necessarily go walking out and about, if that is the case. It seems like that should be looked at a little bit more seriously based on that particular study. Now, if someone has better research that can show that that's not the case and show that to me, then I'd be down to hear what you have to say. Um, again, I'm going by what I've seen personally myself. And then, I love the fact that people are trying to contribute in making the cloth mask. I don't I have a friend of mine that's a nurse, and he's like, I don't think that's really going to work. And I don't necessarily know how well that is going to work. Is it better than nothing? I, I'm not sure if anybody's listened to the Joe Rogan had a gentleman on a few weeks ago in regards to this, and he said it's the N95 mask that people need to be wearing. If to be effective. Even a regular mask isn't effective going out and about. Like, you want that N95 with a little respirator on it to truly be effective. Yeah, these are all things I think I should look at seriously. And it's, for me, I'm not necessarily so concerned with myself, but I have my wife, my daughter. Like, I can't even go visit my grandparents right now because, I mean, I have exposure to a bunch of people. I've already had a ton of exposure to my wife, her being pregnant, and then the exposure to my daughter as well. I mean, I get that this is extremely difficult right now, and we might be fighting a losing battle as far as, like, by taking these precautions at this point. I mean, we've I don't feel people are taking this as serious as it should have been taking in place. And I know it's hard, because we want to be free, we want to go out and do things. But man, what it can do to individuals, and it has affected healthy people. Like, there are people out there that would be considered healthy, and it's crippled them. I mean, I'm seeing pictures of some of these nurses, and I question everything, but I also have to look at, if this is real, if this is as real as we're talking about it being, then, you know, what are we going to do? How do we proceed going forward with this particular circumstance to where we make sure that we are safe? And are we wearing our gloves? Are we wearing N95 mask? I've even heard people say that you should be wearing eye protection in regards to this. I didn't see that in the study that I saw. Again, I don't necessarily know what to believe, but the individual who did say that to me, I do trust. Like, she's a very intelligent person and seems to go research oriented. So if we're supposed to be wearing goggles too, to protect, because supposedly it can go in through the eyes as well. These are all things that we have to look at. And if we're going into even HEBs right now, our grocery stores, what all does that entail? I don't know. Like, that's the scariest part of the situation is, how do we proceed forward? And if, like I said, I wish my chat was up and running so I could see in live time if something is going on. So let's go back to these articles that we're looking at. So from what I'm seeing here, all non-essential business sectors must remain shuttered for at least 3 weeks. Many major employers will be allowed to continue to operate. These include nearly all medical businesses, including dentists, veterinarian offices, retailers of essential supplies, and grocery stores, big box stores, farmers markets, food banks, convenience stores, liquor stores, and stores that sell cleaning supplies. I mean, that's a lot of businesses that people are going through in of themselves. And are they fully protected during this time? It takes one slip up based on the evidence that I've seen, that, you got to think that, say you're a dentist or a veterinarian, you got people coming through with their dogs. I mean, it's kind of like you either stop it all or nothing, and people are going to suffer either way in this circumstance. I don't understand the convenience of liquor stores. I heard one person say that it was for people that are alcoholics, that if you take the alcohol away from the alcoholics, then they're going to start going through DTs, and that's another issue that you have to worry about going to hospitals as well. Which, dang, damned if you do, damned if you don't.
On ABC, it does say that we should be wearing goggles because it can go through their eyes from people's coughing.
So yeah, via ABC, yeah. So goggles are important too. And that's the other thing. Are we wearing goggles? So I haven't worn goggles. I haven't even seen anything as far as my PPE is guidelines to wear goggles from any of the home health agencies that I work with. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm missing something. I hadn't seen it. It's not in my guidelines. I know I'm supposed to have hand sanitizer, and I'm supposed to be washing my hands in between people, and like I said, N95 mask. They have shipments coming through for me right now as far as those masks go. Yeah, I don't really see, like, we're taking these precautions, and I get them. I'm not negating taking precautions, but I think it should be a little bit more than what it is. Just going forward, or even if it matters at this point, just again, you have to look. this has been going on for really quite some time, months in China, and then you look at the fact that this is now um, here in the United States. Think of all the people you interacted with just incidentally, and you're not wearing masks. And I mean, just even as you can see in here, this video of government officials, right? Like it's happening. I know several people, as far as government officials, have been affected. Sports players, um, yeah, just tons and tons of people are getting affected by this, and I just, again, I can't say it enough. I don't know. You know, are we doing? Is this even worth it? Are we doing enough? Are we freaking out?
Is there a vaccine being made yet?
Huh?
Is there a vaccine made yet?
There's a vaccine in the works from what I'd seen. I'd seen one article in regards to, like there was like 44 trials, but or is it safe? Is it effective? You know, you that takes a while to even figure out, to understand if what the vaccine is being made is even going to, one, what are the side effects from it, the original vaccine. I mean, you got to think these trials usually take some time before they get put out into the community, and now we're like, hey, let's fast track this. And I mean, at what risk? What risk are we talking about vaccinating people? What are the side effects to a potential vaccine at this point? Much less the infrastructure to manufacture that vaccine on a large scale. You know, what does it intake? Do we have the ability to, based on like, I guess SARS is close to it as far as similar properties, but you know, is it the same concept as far as making that vaccination goes? These are all things that they have to consider. Let's see. So transportation businesses, including air travel, taxis, and rideshare, such as Uber and Lyft, can also continue its transit operation through social distancing guidelines. So wait, they can, transportation can still go into effect. I mean, that's another thing. You got one person going into another person's car. It's just sitting there. I mean, you're like, if one person has it and they're just isolated in that area for a period of time, and then anybody that comes through and is isolated in that area, I mean, what the potentials of that as well. I mean, that's the same thing as the planes, air travel. So yeah, let's see. At some universities, similar rules are in place, except activities considered critical research are also allowed. The orders come as the amount of confirmed coronavirus cases continues to rise locally and across the state. Travis County replied to 86 cases Monday night. Statewide, there were 784 confirmed cases, according to the American Statesman. Let's see.
Kat says, is the end game goal to prevent everyone from getting sick, or is the goal to minimize the amount of people getting sick? And I believe we are succeeding at minimizing it.
Yeah, I mean, if we're succeeding, again, are we succeeding? I mean, what are the tests, like how is the testing coming out? Like, I'm not saying that we are or aren't. I think that these things should be looked at very seriously. If we're supposed to be panicking at this level where we're having, I've never seen anything like this in my lifetime. I don't know anybody that has. This is very unusual circumstances, and so I'm not saying we are or aren't. Do we have the test for it? How many people are coming forward under the circumstances? Let's see. Let's look at what Williamson County guidelines are. So we're stay home safe order here. So Williamson County, on March 14th, Williamson County Judge Bill Gavel issued a proclamation declaring a local state of disaster, Texas, after making determined base of statements information provided to him by the Office of Texas March 15th. Let's see where we're at here. 19th. I know. So the 19th is where I'm seeing the last so far. Let's see how far we can go down on this. Healthcare operations for persons. Yeah. I don't know. This is a very interesting circumstance. Still at that, we're supposed to stay home. You're supposed to have an individual staying home for 2 to 3 weeks. I don't know. On March 24th, we'll continue through April 13th. So stay home orders through April 13th. So literally that's 3 weeks out at this point. You have individuals that are supposed to be staying home for 3 weeks. This is going to take a toll just on the economy in itself. And like I said, for me personally, I'm in a position where, yes, I'm still considered an essential worker. I can go to work, but I have less work now than ever because people don't want non-essential healthcare, even though I'm considered essential, in their house. So I'm having a lot of people discharged, a lot of people refusing therapy at this point, which is greatly affecting my income. And so what are we doing in place for individuals that incomes are being affected? As far as, like I said, I'm going to have to choose here soon. Well, I pretty much already made the choice. I'm going to end up, being like, hey, I can't pay my rent right now because I need to make sure I have money to last for food.
That's true. As far as tests, there aren't enough tests to show who already has it and not. I think testing is very limited availability.
Yeah. So I want to look at these things. One of the things I would say is, they talked about that the aid package coming through that was blocked by Democrats. I don't necessarily, I haven't read it, so I don't really know what was in place. From what I understand, that it was more of a bailout for big businesses than it was for individuals at ground, like people just such as myself. And so I don't know the politics behind it really. I would like to know. It would be nice to know what resources are available to individuals that are going to need food, as far as helping with assistances in regards to food and shelter, utilities, water, electric, internet, phone. Like I said, there's choices that have to be made here under these circumstances because of how it's affecting individuals. And these are big deals to look at. I think everybody should kind of be concerned, even if it doesn't directly affect you at this point. How can it affect you? If you are still maintaining a business somehow, is that income going to continue to be maintained as the individuals that you rely on can't afford to pay their bills necessarily, and then they're talking about I've heard some things about, you'll have 60 days to pay for it, but then at that point, you're talking about debt at that point, right? So how are we, you're saying you're going to give us 60 days to pay bills. This is just something I've heard thrown out there. Again, I don't know how much the truth is to that, but what I would say is you're going to give me 60 days to pay something when I'm already struggling financially to maintain at this point, and then now I have to try to play catch up and work more at that time. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. This whole situation is all over the place, and there's a lot of very complex questions that we need to find answers to going forward. And like I said, if anybody has any ideas on how to approach that, feel free to hit me up. I'm planning on over the next few days starting to reach out to various individuals within our community to figure out how to get assistance or what's going on in this time. I haven't really seen so much in regards to that. Let's see, I live in Williamson County, so let's talk about assistance for COVID. Common questions. How can I prevent coronavirus at home? How can I care for a family member with coronavirus disease? So we're talking about the disease in of itself. Maybe type in financial assistance or COVID-19. Homeowners and renters are getting financial help during, that's NBC, Connecticut. So let's try it in Texas. Let's see. How can Texans get help during the coronavirus pandemic? Okay. Nonprofits and government agencies are providing resources like free meals, Wi-Fi hotspots, and low-interest loans for Texans affected by COVID-19. They're also looking for people by volunteering or making donations. No, so let's look and see. This is as of March 23rd, so we're talking Monday. 19, as the state experiences public health disaster, community spread has been discovered. More than 700 cases have been disclosed. Okay. Schools. I know schools are still providing meals during the day to students, at least they are here in Williamson County. So in response to growing concerns around the nation, President Donald Trump signed a bill mandating 12 weeks of paid leave for people quarantining or experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. So that's for, it says quarantining or experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. That applies to only to companies with less than 500 employees. The federal bill, which will go into effect April 2nd, also provides $1 billion in emergency unemployment insurance to the states and requires free testing for the new coronavirus. Okay. State and formulate leaders. What can they do? If you're looking for assistance and if you have means to do so, what can you do to help others? Food banks, school districts, and some local pantries are providing free meals for people and asking for donations and volunteers as they face significant increase in demand. Texans also have access to a variety of other resources, including free internet and housing support. Here's a list. Food banks that can provide. Feeding Texas has a website where people can find 21 member food banks that can provide free groceries and place to sign up for SNAP benefits. The organization who is also asking for donations for the COVID-19 Emergency Response Fund, and local organizations are looking for volunteers, food donations, and monetary donations. So I'm guessing feeding let's. You know what? Here, let me open that in a new tab. That way we don't lose. Open link in new tab. There we go. So if I put my zip code in, what does that give me? Food bank in Austin. So get help in Williamson County. So I have to contact this number, I guess, the central, or let's see, open link in new tab. See, I'm getting better at searching the internet here. What is this? What are we seeing here? Austin Reggae Festival canceled. Yeah. So, let's see. Find food now. We're looking at the food bank. Let's see. Round Rock, Texas. So yeah, downtown Round Rock has what look to be Round Rock Area Serving Center down there. So food pantry. Let's see, directions. Let's see what the Round Rock serving area is. This is me. I'm just looking in my area. So Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. So check out the food bank at, looks from 10 to 4, Saturday 9 a.m. to 12. Okay. So I guess that's kind of the help you can get. What about shelter? Meals, medical services, community health, employment resources. Texans whose employment has been affected by the new coronavirus can apply for benefits using unemployment benefit services. See, I'm not unemployed. Like, that's another thing that's weird for me is I'm not unemployed. It's just I have a lack of work. Can access long-term low-interest loans through the U.S. Small Business Administration's Income Disaster Loan Program. Texans can visit the SBA's website and apply for loans. Well, that might be something for us right there. Yay, more debt. Comcast is providing Xfinity Wi-Fi hotspots around the nation. People can find hotspots here. So if you need access to the internet, there are resources there to find on the internet.
We should attach this link to the YouTube channel.
The free Wi-Fi hotspots.
Yeah.
We probably should attach all these to the YouTube channel. So attach. So anybody watching, I'll put the links in the comments on this particular video in regards to it. I've already been talking longer than I anticipated today. I'll look at stuff more. If y'all are wanting to, the Texas Tribune had this out, and like I said, it's showing you places where to look for meals, medical services, employment resources, hotspots, and then yeah, this is what you can do. This is probably what I'll be looking at over the next few days. Yeah, myself. Hope y'all have a good day.
Kat says, for those who are still working but are losing income, you may also qualify for food stamps. I'm not sure of the process though here. You might be able to get work as well. Okay,
cool. Thank you, Kat. You're awesome. Hope you're doing well. When we're done social distancing, hit us up. Yeah. So I'm over and out for today. I'll be doing this again tomorrow at 7:30, looking at the scenarios. And if y'all see anything, please feel free to send it to me. We can discuss it tomorrow. Like I said, I'll be back at doing this at 7:30. Hopefully things will be running smoother. I wish it was running smoother today. I just want to help people. I'm trying to find help. Right now is a time where we need to try to work together as much as possible, so that we can get through this, because this is craziness. God bless y'all. Have a great day. Love y'all. Bye-bye. Out.